In the heart of the Wild West, a wealthy rancher, scarred by betrayal, sets a cunning trap to test a struggling widow's heart, only to be stunned by an act that turns his world upside down. Rich rancher pretends to sleep to test the poor widow, and freezes seeing what she does, is a gripping tale of trust, redemption, and shocking twists that'll leave you breathless. Don't miss out. Subscribe now to our storytelling channel for more unforgettable stories. Hit that button and join readers across the USA and UK in tales that ignite the soul. In the sun-baked Montana Badlands of 1887, where sagebrush whispered secrets and the horizon stretched like a challenge, Elias Hawthorne ruled Hawthorne Ranch, a sprawling empire of cattle and oil that made him richer than God but colder than a winter gale. At 50, Elias was a towering figure, his gray eyes sharp with suspicion honed by years of clawing from poverty to power, his heart hardened since his wife Lila's death in a riding accident a decade prior. Across the barbed wire fence lived Clara Montgomery, a 35-year-old widow whose ramshackle farm barely sustained her and her 3 children, Tommy, 8, with a nagging cough, Sarah, 10, with dreams too big for their crumbling cabin, and Beth, 5, who still cried for her daddy, lost to a mining collapse. Clara's days were a grind of milking thin cows, mending fences, and dodging the bank's foreclosure threats, yet she carried herself with quiet dignity that Elias, watching from his mansion, couldn't trust. Was she as noble as she seemed, or would desperation reveal a thief? One stormy evening, as thunder rumbled like a warning, Elias rode to Clara's farm, claiming to check a shared well, his vest pocket stuffed with $500, a fortune to tempt any soul. Feigning exhaustion, he slumped onto her porch swing, eyes closed, breathing slow, his wallet peeking out like bait. His ears strained for any hint of betrayal, a step, a rustle, the clink of greed. Would she steal to save her kids? Take his horse and run? Or defy his cynical test? Clara emerged, flour-dusted from baking meager bread, and paused, seeing the sleeping rancher, his cash roll glinting in the lantern's glow. Her children's laughter inside clashed with their hunger pangs she hid. That money could clear debts, buy medicine, plant crops. Temptation flared, but her late husband's words rang true, honesty is our only wealth. Instead of grabbing the wallet, she fetched a worn quilt from her own bed, draping it gently over Elias to shield him from the chill. Sitting nearby, she hummed a soft lullaby, guarding him like a neighbor, not a mark. Elias froze beneath the quilt, his fake snores hiding shock. No theft, just kindness that sliced through his armored heart. Peeking, he saw Clara's weary face, serene in the starlight, and heard her whisper, "Poor man, alone with his riches. We all need grace." Then, a twist. Clara slipped inside, returning with a tin holding $7, her last savings, and a note. "For your burdens, neighbor. Sharing lightens the load." Elias's chest tightened. This penniless widow was offering him charity. His test had backfired, exposing his own distrust. At dawn, he woke, finding the quilt, tin, and note. Clara offered coffee, guileless, as shame burned through him. He rode home, the tin heavier than gold. Guilt drove him to dig deeper, hiring an ex-Pinkerton, Amos, to investigate Clara's past. Days later, Amos uncovered a bombshell. Caleb's death wasn't an accident. Elias's ex-partner, Harlan Vance, a crooked lawyer, had forged deeds to steal Clara's land's mineral rights, funneling oil wealth to Elias's ranch. His fortune was her ruin. Stricken, Elias confronted Harlan in Billings, where the lawyer's smirk turned to panic at the evidence. In a desperate twist, Harlan drew a derringer, aiming to kill. A struggle, fists, crashing furniture, ended with Elias disarming him, Harlan fleeing with a vow of revenge. Returning to Clara's farm, Elias confessed under the swing. The test, the stolen rights, his shame. Expecting rage, he got tears in her soft reply, "I forgave long ago." Hate buries you. As he offered to restore her land, lightning struck her barn, sparking a blaze. They fought it together, Elias hauling water, Clara saving livestock, bonding in the chaos. But another twist loomed. Harlan, now a fugitive, rallied outlaws to torch Hawthorne Ranch and frame Clara. At midnight, gunfire erupted, Elias taking a bullet to the shoulder. Clara, hearing the chaos, rode over, shotgun blazing with frontier skill, her shots scattering the gang. Harlan, cornered, confessed before the sheriff hauled him away. As Clara bandaged Elias, she smiled wryly. You tested me with sleep, but life tested us. Humbled, Elias proposed, and Clara accepted, their hearts richer than any ranch. They merged their lands, sharing wealth to build schools and clear debts, transforming the valley. Years later, Elias admitted the test. Clara laughed. She'd known he was faking, his snores too perfect. I tested you too, she said, to see if a rich man's heart could thaw. It had, proving true wealth was grace shared. Their children carried on, but whispers of Harlan's escape hinted at future shadows, their bond a light against the dark.